inside my being, and I am brought to a stillness I have never known. In the stillness, I allow the idea that I am completely worthy to be loved to be imprinted on my heart. I am completely worthy to be loved. I feel my heart begin to open and my mind begin to accept the thought that yes, I am love. I am completely lovable. Here at this ocean, I make a pledge to make love my practice, to speak only loving words about myself and others, to speak only loving words about myself and others, to think loving thoughts about myself and others, and to practice loving deeds for myself and others. I make it a pledge to become loving and to welcome love back into my life. I stand here at this ocean and I let this be my pledge. I let this be my pledge. And when I'm ready, I make the journey back to my room, back to my life. But I bring the blessings of love that I've experienced, the message of love that I heard, and the image of the great ocean, the ocean of love, filling me with the power to change myself and change my life.
Good evening, everybody. So, you want to play any tricks on you today for April Fool's Day? Anyway, this is a bit of a trickster little game we're playing here, isn't it? So I was thinking tonight we'll talk about what efforts do I need to make? So make to what to reach your destination, or to do anything, even to get out of bed. You decide what time to get out, or when I get out, what am I going to do? It's the same in the world today. You look around and you can see what's going on in the world, which is just a big game, which we know it's all part of the game, the drama. And everything's predestined and preordained, so we don't have to worry about anything. Except we just have to make sure we don't make any mistakes, basically. That's the effort we make when you think about it. Because we don't know what our future next few years will be, do we? But if we are doing the right thing now, today, right in the now, that's all we've got is the now time. But in the now time, we've got our last 5,000 years there in my soul and my time track. So they're all there. They're somewhere else. So they're all there. It's just that we can't remember them. And that's what we're doing. So at the moment, our effort is just remembering I am this soul, beautiful, wonderful soul. And the soul has a game to play in the sense that it remembers all our actions that we're performing in the physical. So that's one of the roles it's got. And another aspect of the soul is through the body, because all their actions, everything we do, no matter what it is recorded, not every single little thing, but it's recorded into my soul. And now at the same time, we also have emotions. Spoke a little bit about that last week. So the soul also stores your emotions. So there's not that anything's good or wrong or bad or whatever. Everything that happens is beneficial. It's like, say, for instance, emotions. So you might get angry or something like that, or you might have all sorts of things. You might be feeling greedy one day. So all these things are there, but they're not bad. They're all experiences. So now the soul in my last 84 births has experienced all of those and everything with it. So now's the time that my soul is wisdomizing all my experiences, because this is the time of great transformation now on earth. We can see everything, whether it's political or financial or spiritual or any form whatsoever on this earth, whether it's global warming and whether it's whatever it is, it's all reached a point where transformation has to take place. It can't carry on the way it was. It's the same for us, human beings. So human beings have outlived outlived the use of the human. It's like the cars become old. So now is the time of transformation and upgrading, because the vehicle, which is the human, is a vehicle, isn't it? It's the same. And it's like my brain is a computer. So whatever I use, then sometimes it gets a bit foggy and a bit cloudy if I've eaten or drunken or drunk something, whatever. So it affects my blood, and my blood goes to every cell, and then I can get poisoned even. And then I die. I leave the body. Body dies. But this time now, you can see every country in the world is facing a situation. It might be political, but it's a situation where it requires change, a change of thinking, and deciding as a country what they want to do, what efforts, what changes are they going to accept. And this is what's happening to the whole world on that level. Now we're making effort for ourselves, isn't it? So, and that's called human consciousness. So, and the human consciousness is waking up, saying, "Look, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of these wars, and I'm sick of the country. I'm sick of the government ripping us off all the time and taking all our money and spending it on useless things." But the whole thing is we voted them in there, so now they have to wake up to who we're going to put in there that's not going to be doing those things. Excuse me. So in the next few years, we'll see all sorts of things going on. And this is the time of transformation. As when we've read as we go through that time now, it's the end of the Iron Age. So we've been to the Golden Age, Silver Age, Copper Age, and Iron Age. But now is the time which is called the Diamond Age. So now we know this time where all knowledge, all experiences, everything that I've been through, my soul over those last 84 births I've had will take the wisdom of those births and also wisdomize it. So then that's where that light body comes in. So inside your body is another body called a body of light, but you can even see the aura from around it. And also the emotional body is also there. So we've got in the sense you've got the human body, then the light body inside this body, which we call the master. Baba says, you are masters. And that's the wisdom of all your past births is now becoming wisdomized by your soul. And it's the same with your emotions. So two together, so you've got your emotions and also your knowledge or your wisdom. So both have been wisdomized by your soul. That's when you're ready. It doesn't do it until you're ready. And you know that you might sort of blow your mind otherwise. So the whole thing is when you're ready to accept your transformation or your life's change, then that will happen. When you want to change, you don't have to change if you don't want to. You can just stay the same. If there's no benefit of just sitting around all day, sometimes I do that, but I'm always studying something, reading something, or wanting to know more about myself or what's happening, because whatever's happening is perfect. You can never be in the wrong place and you can never be in the right place. You're right where you're supposed to be. And that's what we're about now. So we're transforming from how I used to be. I think I've died about 6 or 7 times in this lifetime, because when I was living, when you're young, then you die from that way of thinking and that way of being. And as you get into your 20s and 30s and 40s and 60s and whatever, so constantly you're changing your thinking. Those who don't, a lot of people can be trapped maybe when they're 25 or 30, when an issue came up and they keep complaining about it and it's affected them so much, so they're stuck way back when they're maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago or 50 years ago. They might have been stuck back in that time. And that's what the problem is, that everything they relate to, I can remember, 40 years ago when we used to do this and that and the next thing. They can't live in the present time. And that's the effort we need to make, is to be in present time. Because your present time is also your future, and your present time is all your experiences of your past. So your past, present, and future are there in the present time. And you don't have to make any effort for that. That's just how it is. You just have to be focused that I am this light body inside this body, that I am a spiritual point of pure energy, and I'm using this body. It's the light body that uses this body in consciousness. See, it's not soul directly, does not communicate with the brain or the mind. So you'll find that same with emotions. So first you'll have an emotion. So you might see something and it could be quite emotional. So you have that emotional experience, but then after that, then the mind starts thinking. So everything you do is first emotions, then the mind comes into being. And so the idea is that in the heart is the emotions, isn't it? So you get the feelings. It's more to do with the spiritual part of us. But we've had a lot of mistreatments over many, many births and whatever, and mistreated others, and others have mistreated me because, about the law of cause and effect. And so that's what's happened. So now every experience I've ever had, whether it's emotional or whether it's traumatic, and each birth is now being wisdomized. So so the soul operates through the light body. So now we also have an emotional body which is equal to the light body. So you have emotional body which operates through the heart. So now we keep more out of our mind and we have more feelings. I don't know if you've experienced that more these days or not, that it's the feelings that count. When you speak to somebody, you're speaking to their heart or their soul, the heart of the soul. You see them with that love and that feelings of good wishes and well wishing, so you don't judge them whether they're a lawyer, Indian chief, or whatever, or some status of education. And so you don't see them in any of that, because that doesn't matter, actually. There's nothing of that matters, because now we're at this time of transformation where the main thing that matters is all this wisdomization that's going on, that we can move to the next level, and that's what's happening. And you don't have to freak out about anything like that, but you have to allow. So I've noticed since I've been practicing, this particular part of my life, and it's to do with wisdomizing all my past experience of all my past lives, plus all my emotional experiences from all my past lives. They come up. You get to see them, but you just have to face them in the sense that you say, "Oh, that was an amazing experience. Now it's part of my wisdom," So you don't have to chase it away or anything, but it becomes part of your wisdom. So the next time when something comes up like that, you will have that wisdom not to make that same decision. You'll be wise, That's where wisdom comes from, experience, because that's where the light body comes from. All your past experiences over 84 births, over 5,000 years, will come in front of you, and that's your experiences. It's not someone else's. It doesn't matter if someone is whatever they are. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you, and learning to love yourself and to be in love with yourself and to accept whatever that comes. And whatever comes is, as a creator, my many births, I've created many things, which is good, bad, and ugly. Sometimes we think, oh, some evil spirit's coming to get me. It's my own creation. It's that I have created and it wants to come home. It's like you have a child and the child's growing up and it's with you, then suddenly it just doesn't get on well with you. And then it's, oh, I'm leaving home, I'm running away. So it runs away and then it wants to come home. It must be tea time now, I'm getting really hungry. But you shut the door, you wouldn't let it in. You wouldn't let your child in. So then it becomes a little bit angry, So, and that's what we have done. We've created things in our mind and we've shut them out. And then because we're not letting them back in, they're called like our dark aspects of ourselves. And we think it's some spirit attacking us. Well, it is a way, right? But it's my creation that's trying to give me a hard time and says, you're not worthy of that body. And look what you've done. You've given me so much sorrow. And now I'm going to make sure I give you sorrow. But then you have to walk through that in the sense that realize that this is my own creation. And that's where the emotions come in. So emotions can be very light, they can be a little bit grey, and they can be dark, And this is what I've created called aspects of myself, So as I told you once before, that you can have a driving aspect. You're driving along the road, you're fully thinking about something else, and you get home, you think, oh my God, I can't even remember driving home, Happened many times when I was working. So because I've been contracting and you're busy thinking about your day and what you're doing tomorrow. And you get home, you've driven all that way. You're sort of aware, but you're not, but you get home, but your aspect drove you home, So, and you've allowed that because you're fully in, it allows you to become something else, So you're sorting your next day's work out while you're driving home. So, and that's the driving aspect. Then you come home, then you have a cooking aspect. So these are aspects of ourselves which we create, which is called the light aspects, which are there to help us, We create them. So they're there naturally. You might have an ironing aspect that when you iron your clothes, that you're busy thinking about all sorts of things, or you might be listening to something. But you're ironing away there, but that's your ironing aspect, So, but it's life, and that's how life works. And we don't realize how much help we give ourselves. It's my soul and my thinking that's created these entities. You could say entities, and what some are internal. And if we create an internal entity, like say you might have, especially assumptions and beliefs, you might think somebody said something. Oh, they're jealous of me, and look, they're doing all these bad things about me. So you've created this entity inside you. And what actually happens if it's one of sorrow, that's maybe anger, for instance, anger, hatred, and they come in the form of cancers and things like that, all these different diseases. And they come in your joints and they attack you that many ways because they're part of you. They're living. They're your creation. So when they come, you have to welcome them back because we're thinking that I'm being attacked. That's why I've got to understand that everything that's attacking me is created by me. It doesn't come from somewhere else or the food I eat or whatever, all this sort of stuff. It's actually my own creation that I've created because everything is just energy. And if you're in the now, if you're in the present time and living in the present time, it doesn't matter what you eat or drink or do because you are in full awareness. We're in the center point and the big zero. You're not in a plus or a minus, you are zero. So you are there in that time, and it's the most powerful time you can be because everything will come into line. And when we're in that consciousness that I'm in the present and I'm here now, and then whatever my issues are, we can send love and good feelings that, yes, I feel you, I see you. I know you're there because I've created you and I am now allowing you to leave, and I love you and I leave. You're allowed to come back home. I allow you home and that's it. You don't have to beg it or stop it or anything. And you don't have to keep saying it repeatedly. It's not a mantra or anything like that. We're here just to be me. And who's me? So the I am. So as I said, this is such an important point to understand, that my soul is a tool for the I am. Well, people don't understand that point, It's like the I am is the original me. That's my God self. That's when before I became aware of myself. So I am that I am, then I become aware I exist. I have always existed and I only know myself. I know I exist. And that's why we'll take you in that dark room again this week, just for you to experience you. And so when we go into that dark room, and it's like when we first realize I exist, I'm aware that I exist, then energy, that created energy, and energy serves consciousness. You'll notice that even Einstein said that energy serves consciousness. So whatever is going on, when you put consciousness on it, it changes. You are the creator. So energy was created, and from that energy, the soul was established and created. So soul is light. It's just pure light energy, and it's used as a tool for the I am to experience everything through this human. So once the soul's created, and the light means imagination. So imagination or experiencing. So once I can use that through a human, through an instrument, through the AI even. You can use that same consciousness through an AI to find out about yourself. But we're using the same brain. We're just using the brain. There's no difference between a brain and a computer. This thing dies and this thing is reborn. And it's not that I am that. That's just an instrument. So when I understand that my brain, my soul, the I am is the eternal creator of all of this, and it's like the creator wants to look through those eyes, taste an ice cream, see the sunset, feel the winds, love, to experience love. Nothing outside a human being had ever experienced love, but the I am can experience love now because it operates through what it's created. And the I am can never know another I am because it's just in its own place. But when it comes through this human, through its creation, through the soul, and then through the human, and it's created all these experiences. And the soul can actually, like Baba tells us, that the soul can actually become very corrupted and dirty because if you're always experiencing say, wars, and you're killing and murdering people and getting shot and murdered yourself, and all these things that go and raid villages and all sorts of things we've done over the thousands of years. So the soul can become very corrupted in that sense, that it will be very quite evil. Because it can even be an evil soul or a good soul. But there's no bad thing, that's how it is. And from that, in my past, I might have had those experiences maybe 3,000, 2,000 years ago, whatever, 1,000 years, 1,500, who knows? Many births were there. So, and they can become, and that's what the soul's doing now. All those things that we've experienced is part of the light body. But the emotions are also part of the light body. So you can see we're actually two parts. So the emotions is bringing us wisdom, and all our experiences become wisdom. So now we can be in full control of ourselves, So whatever we're doing in the world, we have an emotional experience which is based on wisdom. That's what the soul's here for. That's what the efforts we're making is, to become wise in every way. So, and the wonderful thing is, you just have to put your feet up, have a cup of coffee and a nice cream cake, and you just enjoy, be happy and laugh. You cannot make efforts for this to happen. In fact, if you try and make efforts with your head, I've got to study and do this and do that and make all these efforts, you have a less chance of being successful, of that happening, because you're trapped in your own egos, So, but if you, like, we're listening to Bubba's Murley in the morning, and we're picking some point, maybe 1 point or 2 points, whatever we want, or just the feelings. We don't even need to have points. We can just have feelings, because feelings is more true than the head, So if you feel what Bubba's spoken in the Murley in the morning, it's like, that's from the heart, that's from the soul, But if you think and write down 1,000 points, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, and that means you're in your head. There's no benefit in that at all. You won't ever achieve anything through that, except you might even get a PhD if you want, but there's no benefit in it, So the only benefit is when you're feeling what Bubba's speaking and you're putting it into practice. And you're not giving sorrow to anyone like that. So you're feeling what Bubba's teaching, and this is what purifies the soul. And what really purifies the soul is your connection with God himself, So, but where is God? Where do you connect? And that's why I was giving that experience. My own experiences is going deep into the soul, into the silence part, into the real darkness of the soul, is your I am. And I am is consciousness. Consciousness has no form. Doesn't feel hot or cold. It's just consciousness. And that's what God is as well. God is consciousness. So it's not a point of light. It's nothing like that. And so I am consciousness. So when you've discovered yourself, then you will discover God. And that's what's creating through this instrument, my experience on this earth. So heaven and hell is here, So now it's called the Diamond Age, where we have this knowledge. We are going through this amazing transformation. So you can experience this incredible transformation, but you have to get rid of the junkyard. That's what Bob was saying. In your head, that's what Bob said today. He's not in Tariyami. He doesn't hang around people and read thoughts of your head in your mind or anything. Imagine that, he'd go crazy, wouldn't he? So the whole thing is that we're here to become what Bubba wants us in that sense. So we have to let go of everything that's in us that we don't need. And we don't need anything, actually. So we're free. So it's just like, when I can become free of everything, I think I need this or I need that. I need another $1,000,000 and then I'll be free, It doesn't work like that, It works when I'm free, when I allow myself to become free from any attachments, anything on the physical level, so that then I am ready to move into another dimensional shift, to become like a deity being, so they're not on this consciousness. A deity being is on a very beautiful, pure consciousness where it's not limited by waste consciousness, needing things, wanting things, and it would be free, constantly free from everything, but it would have everything. Because in your heart, that's where the soul is, in the sense it feels, isn't it? That's where your emotion comes through the heart. And the heart, when it's pure, Above said he loves an honest heart, And here the light body is also there. See, so the pure heart and the pure mind, you could say, or the pure light, or the wisdom that's been made pure. So, and that's what Bob said, through yoga power, you can attain the cleanliness. And that's what Baba gives us in the Murli. He says, you follow my directions and you can become clean, So the soul will become free. But the biggest thing is we listen to our own dictates and we listen to the dictates of others, and many, many others have lots of things to say. And we forget that I am God also, Papa keeps telling us every day, you are master gods. You are self-sovereigns. You are masters. He's not saying you're becoming. You are that. But because we've got this big junkyard in our head, we're thinking we can't get out of our head because we're constantly thinking and expecting and what's for lunch today and what's for evening meal and what I'm going to have tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow, I might be out of work tomorrow, you never know. So the whole thing is, but that's an experience. It's for you to experience, It's there. And you will not miss out on anything because the universe is dependent on us to shine our light. That's all we want to do. That's what the universe wants, to shine your light from the heart and from the soul, that's what we're doing, That's what world meditation's about. It's like we've been doing for so long, thinking we're going outside and giving love and light to everything. It's doing no, in a sense, it's out there, but where's it going? Who's it going to go to? And what's it going to do? We might be giving someone a hard time through doing that. They might be having their experiences and we're interfering with that. But we can help the world by helping ourselves, by let that heart shine. Just let the heart be filled and let it in there. You can see that the dragon is in there. So anything negative, but the dragon will dance in that beautiful light that's in there. So you can and laugh and enjoy yourself. It's laughter is the fastest way to become enlightened. If you want to become enlightened really fast, just go and enjoy and laugh. Go and watch a funny movie and just see how you feel after that. You will be amazed. It just absolutely transforms your whole world in a split second. But we take everything so serious, But nothing's permanent. There's not a single thing in this world that's permanent. And I'm just here to experience. I mean, it's easy to say, isn't it? But when you're going through getting your leg chopped off or eaten by a crocodile or something, then it's a bit different. But that's part of the experience, isn't it? So the soul says, "Oh, that's interesting." It'll never stop you thinking, "Oh, that's an interesting way to die this time, getting eaten by a crocodile." But anyway, we're okay. We're quite safe here in New Zealand. We might get eaten by an earthworm or something. But anyway, they're big ones without teeth. Anyway, so what we're doing now, though, is just being contented and happy with myself. Because if you're not, then you'll see that things keep happening through the body, It's like, I mean, I've experienced lots of things like tripping over and cutting myself and doing all sorts of things, but it's telling you, let go, let go, let go, let go. But like you just keep hanging on and you keep doing, and then you start fighting and then suddenly bang, oh, then you have to let go. So then you get some sickness or you get some accident, or all these things come, because you're thinking you have to do everything, but you don't. You just have to love yourself. I know that's the hardest thing of all to do, but for people, but that's the very, very hard thing. But when you can love yourself for who you are, you don't have to love anyone else. They have to love themselves. They have to learn how to love themselves. You cannot make anyone love you, and you cannot love anyone else, because it's just energy feeding then. What happens is if you're dependent on another soul for their energy, it's just like you're drinking their energy. You got a big straw in their heart going, so, and if they're dependent on you and you're dependent on them, it's like you're just drinking each other's energies. But when you are a self-sovereign, which Baba says, one who rules oneself, you're independent. That's what Bubba's trying to make us, independent. He's not there to make us into kindergarten children and still be fully dependent on mum and dad to cook our dinner and make our food and buy us clothes and do everything. No, we have to be fully independent. And that's what Bubba wants, because when you go to the golden age, be running around wanting on someone to tell you what to do and how to do it and where to do it. So Lakshmi and Orion, probably they couldn't be. I mean, they're so powerful beings that everyone will be doing what they're supposed to be doing. They don't have to run around, and there won't be any complaints because everyone will have plenty. And that's what's coming up. There's an abundance of everything. There's an abundance of food to feed this world about 10 times over, and there's abundance of electricity. There's an abundance of energy. There's abundance of everything on this earth. But because people have been so corrupted, and it's no one's fault, it's just a game. You can't go blaming anyone. You hear all these things on the TV or on the radio and on the YouTubes and all those sort of things, conspiracy theorists. Actually, the one guy, he was a conspiracy theorist, and then he had his brain, they checked his brain, and the brain actually changes. It actually changes a lot. So he was going back. He was getting himself to come back to what he was before, because there's always these things that go on inside the brain. So you're creating an entity that's inside there. So, and it eats away at the brain, But you don't have to worry about a single thing. We are just energy created by the I am. The soul is a tool. This body is a tool, so. And that's what I mean. The heart is an instrument for feeling, for the soul, that pure feelings. You won't get any voices coming from the soul, but you will from the head in a sense, because the I am, the master that's in this body, can talk, and the human can just relax and say, oh, okay. So I'm in the back seat now. You can drive, So you're saying to your light body, to the master, so you can drive now. I can just be here, and I'm just going to watch you and learn from you. Because the mind just still plays an important role, but now we are getting more and more through feelings. You might have noticed that in yourself. I'm not sure, but it's beautiful when you can learn to live your life with feelings rather than using your head and judging people. Why is this happening and why is that happening? That's why is because you create everything that's happening to you, So a lot of people don't like to hear things like that, but it's true. There's nothing happens to you ever that you didn't create. You can't blame anyone else for anything because they're creating for themselves, isn't it? And if you have an argument with each other, it's just like that's part of what we call the karma, that's built up over not only this lifetime, but over many lifetimes. You see, because we've been around so long that we're attracted to people, and we might have this wonderful, oh, this is my soulmate, and you fall in love, and suddenly you're together, and after a year you're getting divorced, and you're the worst enemies in the world, So because it's from past birth, this account hasn't been finished, so now they come together, finish it, get divorced, and get on with their lives. They have a time from hell, So we don't want to do that now. We want to become wise. That's why we want to wisdomize myself. I want to become free from all the burdens and bondages. And Baba tells us how to do that, you know. So, and that's, and if you're what you are, you can't expect anyone to be like you. You are such an amazing instrument, amazing soul, an amazing being. There's no one greater than the human being. Doesn't matter how many aliens come from other parts of the universe, there's no one greater than the human being because we have love. We have the experience of emotions and love where they don't. They might like each other or something like that, but there's other humanoids don't have the experience that we have here, you know. And that's another story, of course. So I was just going to take you today, like as I said last week, I'll take you to another room in our experiences because it's important to experience. Because what we're going to do, we're creating. This is our new house here, see, and the fence around this house is my aura, isn't it? It's going to protect me. So, and what I'm saying, when you actually understand that I live within inside my surroundings. But when I get out of my surroundings, you'll find that you'll end up in the old world and you'll experience whatever's going on anywhere. And you might have a lot more sorrow, you know. So when I'm saying, well, we're going to create a house, you know, and in the house, you can have a 2 bedroom or a 2 story house, I mean, and it's got a few more rooms, but just I'll take you through the house and but you can have it doesn't have to be a flash, it can be a beautiful wooden house, you know, just there. It can be doesn't have to be $1 million house. It's just simple house because what we're doing, we're creating a new rooms in our house and the new experiences for the house means my personality traits and my qualities and how to get rid of some of the junk that's within us. So we go to different rooms. So we'll go through those rooms. And today we're going to go back into the dark room because this is the most important room of all the rooms. I took you there last week into the dark room. But this is the first room, and I'll take you back into the kitchen. We'll go round through the different rooms again over the next few weeks, and we can experience those. And you can experience them for yourself at any time, you know. It's very important to understand the human that we're going to visualize, because it's all visualization, but it's done through your own experiencing. Okay, so what we can do then, so you have shut eyes in this particular case, so you can close your eyes and you can see your section, you know, so around this house, your house is your head, but you can visualize a house on your section. So it's just like being out here in in uh, in Mangere Bridge or something like that. You've got a house there, and you've got this wall, a short wall all the way around your house, which is you, of course. So you're just visualizing your house in this section. Now, in the section can be as big as you like it. You can have a nice, beautiful pond in the backyard and beautiful flowers and lilies and whatever you want. You have a nice little waterfall and fish jumping up and down. Maybe dragonflies flying around, anything you like, butterflies, whatever's beautiful, you know. So, or you want to create something beautiful. You don't want to create anything ugly. So you're not having crocodiles here or anything. So you're not going to get eaten. So the whole thing, unless they're friendly crocodiles, of course. But so the whole thing is this section that you have, that's the section you need to stay in all day long if you can. Don't live in the old world. Don't read the news. Don't worry about the news. Don't worry about what's going on about the world. Stay in your own section, you know, and live from there. And that's what keeps us safe, you know, it'll save your heart, will save the sorrow, you know. And you won't have to worry about anything because your spirit is going to look after you so nicely, and the universe is going to give you wonders. You will be amazed at what's going to happen for you if you want. You don't have to have them. You can have an abundance of sorrow if you want, even. You don't have to have happiness. You can have abundance of sorrow. Soul will also create it for you if you want. But it's up to you. You can choose whatever you wish. But you're in your section. And now we've established that there's a house there. I like to say there's a house with a front porch. I always visualize a nice timber house because I'm an old builder, but you can see an easy, simple house, nothing flash, not even painted. You don't need to worry about the paint. It's just the weatherboards are looking good. So, but it doesn't matter. You just see the house. There's a front door. Now, in the front door, it doesn't actually have a door. It has a doorway because if we have a front door, it gets in the way of our imagination. So you can see that when I look down the passageway, I can see, oh, it's a big, long passageway. And there's many rooms going along that passageway. And you'll see that there's a door, and each door's got a name on it. So we're going to walk in this front door. So you walk up, and you just visualize yourself standing on the front door, and you can look down the hallway. You step into the home, into your nice house, and you walk along. There's a first door's got kitchen written on it. Second door, so you don't go in that one yet. We'll go in there later. And the next door down, it's got dark room. So we're going to go into the dark room today. It's not dark when you first go in, but we will make it dark. So you walk down the passageway, you go past the first door on your right, then you see the second door on your right, which has got dark room written on the door. You open the door, you walk inside, and you shut the door behind you, and you just see that it's four walls, no furniture, nothing. There's just the floor. So you can just sit in the middle on the floor. Just make yourself comfortable there because it doesn't matter. You don't have sore knees and legs when you're in the subtle bodies. So you can sit on the floor any way you like. You can sit cross-legged, upside down if you want. So here we're sitting on the floor in the dark room. And then we're just taking a deep breath in. The main thing when you're in these places is to make sure you keep breathing, don't shallow breathe if you can help it. Just take a nice deep breath in and feel that energy flowing all the way down. Try and stomach breathe so that, and when you breathe out, just feel all the emotions leaving, everything that's negative that's there, that might be you're holding on to things, just letting them go. Breathe in again, and that energy is going into your lungs. It's going into your heart. It's making your blood, and all that energy is going into the blood, and it's going to every part, every cell in your body. So take another deep breath in and breathe out, and just feel anything negative that's been troubling you, just let it go. And breathe in, and you'll notice that when I breathe in, it's becoming darker and darker. So breathe in and breathe out, breathing in that energy and breathing out the negative. And now it's becoming really dark. So deep breathe in that pure energy, and just feel it like a cycle that's going in, breathing out, and now it's pitch black. Just take a deep breath and relax, and just think it's absolutely so black that I can't even see my hand directly in front of my eyes. It's absolutely black. But when I breathe in, I know I'm here, isn't it? You know you're there, but I'm breathing in, and yet I can't see myself. I'm breathing in, but this room's absolutely pitch black. And this is what consciousness is. You know I'm here. I can't see anything, but I know I'm here. So just feel that. Just feel, take a breath in. You can breathe in. You can see you can't see yourself, but you can know you're there. You feel yourself, isn't it? You feel, yes, I'm aware that I'm here because I'm breathing. And take another breath in and breathe out. So if you can go into this dark room and experience yourself whenever you want, you come in and practice being in pitch black, and then you're free from your mind. The mind's not here. You'll see that when you're in absolute pitch black, There's only consciousness here. My true self, my eternal self. This is my forever self. This is what Baba calls your God self. Consciousness. Just feel that consciousness. Don't forget to breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Now, as we're breathing out, it's becoming a little bit lighter now. Breathe in and breathe out, and the light is coming back. And now I'm becoming absolutely back to where I was before. The room is fully lit, and I'm sitting on the floor. And you'll feel that your mind is so still because you're sitting in a place where there was no need for the mind. Mind cannot operate there. So stand up, take another nice deep breath, walk back over to that door, walk out of the door and shut the door behind you. Now you're back in the hallway. Just go back one door into the kitchen. So this is amazing. You're going to enjoy this experience. So open the kitchen door, walk in and shut the kitchen door behind you. Now this is such an amazing kitchen because this is a brand new house we're in, you see, and there's nothing in it basically. So there is a big oven in your kitchen, but there's no pots and pans and knives and forks or anything. But there's a bench top there, and it's like a big wall oven. Goes there. Now this big wall oven is, we're going to learn to put all our things that bothering us. You might be lacking finances, you might have trouble with your eyes, you might have trouble with your ears, all sorts of things. Whatever it is, we're going to put that inside the oven. It's called the oven of grace. So at the top of the oven, you'll see a big sign. This is the oven of grace. So when you open the oven up, you'll notice there's some tray in there. So you can put one thing only, one thing that's troubling you now. So you put that in the oven. So you can actually put it, you can even write it on a piece of paper and you visualize it, put it in the oven, or you can have a pair of glasses or your wallet or something like that. Just picture whatever you want to picture that you can recognize, you know. So the thing is, when you're doing this, you need to visit it every day if you can, or every second day, and you keep coming back. And if you have the same issue, you keep putting it in there, you know. So until that time but when you put it in there, you have to let it go. That means you don't think any more about it. So if I've got an issue with my health, then I put that in this oven and just leave it. And then I will shut the oven door. And you'll see at the top right-hand side, there's a button, a big red button. You just push that button and it says, and it starts. Push the big red button that says start. So now that issue is now being sorted by your higher self, your soul, your I am. So that's now being looked after. But you have to let it go. So you can't think about, I'll put that in the oven. But tomorrow, if you get a chance, go back into your house, because the idea now is to try and live within your fences, you know, so you're not caught up in the old world. And then go back into into your house. You can go into the dark room if you want, have that practice, go into the kitchen, and you have a look. Open the door, look in the oven, and then you take it out and you put it on the bench. And if you're still having the issue, then you put it back in the oven again. Or if you have a different issue, you put the new issue back in the oven and you shut the oven door. And you can just leave it on the bench. Whatever issue you had, just leave it on the bench. And then just shut the door. And remember, the idea is not to keep thinking about it. You put it in the oven and you just leave it be. And then you press the big red button at the top of the oven. You reach up and push. And then you let the oven do its work. It'll fix up whatever it is that you need to have fixed up if you let it go, you know. So what you're doing, Don't forget you're in your house, so you're inside your house. That means your soul, your I am, your emotional body, your spiritual body, every part of your bodies will be helping you in every way, because now you're letting go and allowing yourself to be healed. But if you keep thinking about it all the time, and I want this and I want that, and all those mantras don't work. So, but anyway, so now we're there. And once you've been in the kitchen and you put your stuff in the oven, shut the oven door, press the button, and then you can walk back out the kitchen door and shut the door behind you. Then you walk out on the front porch. And one thing on the front porch, what I like to do is put a nice chair there so I can sit and relax and feel the sun come in and a nice breeze. You can just sit here in meditation, just remember Baba and this nice, beautiful experience, and just allow that flow. So, and when you're ready, you can get up, go and make yourself a cup of tea, go and have an ice cream, whatever you want to do. So you get back into that beautiful world that we're living in. It's a beautiful world. Never see anything negative. Try and live in a world of happiness, because we still have those emotions, but eventually now we will see the emotions and those experiences we've had in many different past births, but now we need to let them go. So we allow them to come back home. It's my creation, they're my children, and they want to come home. Doesn't matter how ugly they might look, but we just accept them, that they are my wisdom, and now they'll become part of your wisdom. So you've never done anything wrong, but you've never done anything right either. But the whole thing is you've had lots and lots and lots and lots of experiences. So now's the time to enjoy them, and let your soul help you. Let your soul do things for you. Some people have to go and look for a job, and I have to do everything. I have to do this and I have to do that. But they're not they think I have to do it. Who's I? The body? But when you leave it to your higher consciousness, to your higher self, to the spirit, then it's just like it will happen, perfectly. That's going to happen if you allow it. But if you think I'm doing everything, because you've taken the burden on, don't worry, I've experienced all these things, so don't worry. So I've experienced all those things. And the whole thing is now we have to understand that I don't have to do anything. Everything's going to come to me. If you can let everything go, and you're just shining your beautiful light for humanity, and that's all we have to do, and be happy and jolly, and that's all we got to do. We are the foundation, like obviously we're the foundation members of this universe, of this world. So are they not going to look after you? They sure will, because they want us here to do that. But they're not going to put you in as slaves. You don't want a job as a slave. It's going to be a decent job. You get a job that's very royal, and one that maybe working for yourself even is better, because you can charge $1 million a minute. Okay, great souls. So that's today's class and experiences. So we'll just go through different rooms as we go in over the next few weeks. But Bhavna Ben will take next Tuesday. She'll be here back in Auckland on the 7th. So she'll take next Tuesday night's class. Okay, dear souls, love you all. Don't forget to love yourself and keep shining that beautiful light. Okay, bye-bye.